Hello and welcome to CliniconCue, the show where we pick the brains of anyone and everyone involved in clinical research. I'm your host, Shauna Cusack, and today we are joined by the wonderful Barry Skillington, Chief Commercial Officer at AtlantiaClinicalTrials. Stay tuned as we'll be delving into the past, future, and alternate realities of all things clinical research, with some surprises along the way. Okay, Barry, do you have any predictions for where you think the industry is going for the years ahead?
As the years have gone by, a move from paper to digital, and now with the advent of AI, a further move into, I suppose, database. We now have the ability to look at hundreds of thousands of people in certain health metrics, as opposed to just the people that we recruit into the study, which is the benefit of these at-home virtual trials. I think we're going to see a lot more virtual research, whether it's in our space or in every space, in consumer research, in product research, in lifestyle research. I do think that there's going to be an immense amount of data available. It's all heading towards an easier and a cheaper trial. Research will change in the whole, and for the better. There's more available data, especially things like preventative medicine, imaging. It's very powerful. Skin disease, radiology. AI has a huge part to play in that, and I feel we are now bringing AI actively into our company. We're on a digital transformation right now as we speak to tie all these systems together and make it a more robust system to reduce the cost to our clients, speed up the trials.
And the burden, I think, on the participants as well. At-home collection is...
It's way easier.
Way makes a massive difference too.
And people are inherently interested in their health, but then in health as a general construct, they're very interested on the whole. So, I feel it's an easier sell. The less burden you have on a participant, the easier it is to get them to be involved in the studies.
Yeah, I know, like more recently, there's been a massive buzz around this virtual trials and at-home trials, but maybe if you had a big bag of money and a product that you wanted to test, would you be looking, are you thinking you still need that full clinical trial, or is it kind of more a hybrid model now where it's a mix of at-home and clinic?
Yeah.
In your opinion, do you think virtual is the way to go, or is it a hybrid model?
Kind of feel it's horses for courses. There's a starting point where you might want to sense check your market, and then a virtual trial could be a good solution for that. It can be a quick down and dirty test with a decent number of people, and you can include some consumer research. I mean, we build consumer research. We have very, very powerful partners that we use for sensory work. So I'm talking about us as a company. If you came to me, we would build you a program over X number of years and multiple trials, but it probably would now start with a virtual digital type model that would get you a lot of information for the lowest budget. That information, though, would be the starting point for your clinical program. So I do think clinical sampling, having control, having medical professionals, things like cognitive impairment assessments, even early Alzheimer's disease, they need to be done in clinic. And there's tests we run, and some of the questionnaires we run, the Trier social stress test, can only be done in a clinic setting. So there will always be, and are right now, areas where I would advise you to have a full or partial clinical trial. Yeah. But of course, there are scenarios where you would start with some kind of a virtual information gathering.
Yeah. I agree. Okay, now into the fun quickfire round. Right, we're going to mix things up here, Barry. So Barry has no idea about these questions, so we're going to try and get your answers as quick as possible. First thing that comes to your mind, just shout it out. Okay? So one word to describe your first sales experience.
Terrifying.
Agreed. Favorite city you visited?
Barcelona.
The most unusual item in your office?
A ring light.
Yes. Got to look good for those sales calls. The last movie you saw?
What was it called? The Creator.
Creator. Never saw
it. It's about AI.
So would you recommend?
Very good.
Yeah. Barry's or Lions?
Barry's.
No question there. Cork man has to say Barry's. Best thing to do in Cork City?
Everything. Cork is the epicenter of Europe.
One thing, please.
Blarney Castle's kind of cool, that tour.
Okay. Technically not Cork City, but I'll give it to you. Okay, final question, Barry. If you weren't working in clinical trials and had to do something else with all of your free time, what would it be? I think I know the answer maybe, but I'll let you answer.
I'd like to be a sculptor. That's my hobby, stone sculpting. But I'd love to do stone sculpting for replacement parts for architectural buildings like cathedrals and places of interest. Because I love architecture and I love history of architecture, and then I love sculpting. And I would like to work with special needs kids. I think they're very much underrepresented and we should do more as a society for them. I love traveling and I'd like to lie on a lot of beaches.
You travel all the time for work.
But I don't lie on beaches.
We definitely don't lie on beaches. Just to go back to the sculpting, do you have a favorite sculpture then, like in the world?
I think, I know it's classic, but Michelangelo's David is unbelievable for reasons that maybe other people don't think about. But the whole structure of the veins in the hands and how you can't add those on. You have to think about all of this stuff first as you layer down through stone. And it was made from a single block, and it was made from a block that was a castaway from a different sculptor. So he got a secondhand piece of stone, huge piece of stone, that he turned into a masterpiece in one essential go. I mean, with no power tools.
Yeah.
In a time when there was nothing except imagination and a hammer and a chisel. It was just an incredible.
Phenomenal.
There's a lot. There's a huge amount of amazing sculpture in the world, and even modern sculpture. Mm-hmm. But I do find the classics are even more impressive because they didn't have the technology we have now. When I saw it in reality for the first time, when I stood in front of it, it just was. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever.
It sounds like human bodies are kind of where you're.
Yeah, like sculpture. I think people have forms that they tend to go to all the time, so they can be geometrics, they can be soft curves, and are human. So human replications. So I find that easier, I guess. Soft form is easier. It's just what I geared up. But I only do it at a very low level, so no authority, that's for sure.
Brilliant. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us, Barry.
Thank
it's
you so
been brilliant
much.
to chat with you.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, so we've come to the end. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe below because we have plenty more content coming soon.